Hello everyone, I am Sandeep Singh, presently serving as an Associate Professor, School of Hotel Management, Babu Banarsi Das University, Lucknow. Today I am going to deliver my lecture on developing a good F&B team, desirable attributes for various levels of hierarchy. It is in first unit of 7th semester. Developing a good F&B team, working as a part of team. The goal of restaurant and food service establishments is to provide high quality meals and excellent service to customers while staying within food and labor costs so that the operation can make a profit. This goal can only be achieved with the cooperation and support of all of the staff, just as a football franchisee only succeed when the players and staff form a cohesive team. So, too does a restaurant succeed only when the staff forms a working team. Teams invariably outperform individuals if they are working effectively. When groups come together to solve a problem, they come up with more creative and flexible solutions that put individuals in a restaurant. Excellent food and service is always a team effort. If the meal is not well prepared or if the service is poor, the customer may not enjoy the dining experience. So, the kitchen staff and the service staff, both team have to work together as a one team. All members of the team have a role in making the customer's experience memorable. Cooks often think only of the team in the kitchen. The kitchen staff members may think of themselves as a team, us, allied against the front of the house staff, them. It means F&B service personals are another team, and food production was the another team. They think so. The kitchen staff on other segments, management and other component of the operation may also be considered them. This is not productive in a well-functioning restaurant. The staff may believe that if only they were more understanding, worked harder, or knew what it was really like, we could do the best job. Of course, this same thinking is prevalent in the other groups except in reverse. The flaw with this thinking is that it pits one group against the other. It contributes to poor customer service. Petty jealousies and conflicts can lead to various schemes to get the better of the other group. This is an immature way of looking at your workplace, and unfortunately, the customer will suffer. Being part of a team means being respectful to all other members for their particular role and duties. When the entire group sees itself as having a common set of goals to achieve, and each member of the team understands his or her contribution to the overall team effort. The best results are achieved. Now, going to discuss about the characteristics of effective working groups. Characteristics of effective. Now I am going to discuss about the characteristics of effective working group. Now, groups that work effectively have the following characteristics. First, group members share a sense of purpose or common goals that each member is willing to work toward. Members feel that they played a role in determining these goals and the methods used to achieve them. When a task is accomplished or the demands of the situation change, the group can change its focus or direction to meet the new goals. Second point, the group is concerned not only with the task but also with uh, its process and operating procedures. The group periodically evaluates its performance. Third, the group members use one another as a resource. The group willingly accepts the influence and leadership of members whose resources are relevant to immediate tasks. Roles are balanced and shared to ensure that the tasks are accomplished and that group cohesion and morale are enhanced. Communication. Next point is communication is clear and direct. Group members continuously try to listen to and clarify what is being said and show interest in what others say and feel. Differences of opinion are encouraged and freely expressed. And next point is the group focuses on problem solving rather than expending energy on competitive struggles or interpersonal issues. The group is willing to deal with conflict and focus on it until it is resolved or managed in a way that does not reduce the effectiveness of the group and its members. Confrontation is accepted as a challenge to examine one's behavior or ideas. It is not viewed as an uncaring personal attack. Now, the next point, mistakes are seen as sources of learning rather than reasons for punishment. This increases creativity and risk taking. अगर किसी से गलती हो रही है तो उसे पनिश करके डिस्करेज करने के बजाय उसे फिर से एक मौका दें, उसे इंकरेज करें जिससे वो क्रिएटिव हो और अच्छी परफॉर्मेंस दे. द ग्रुप हैज ए क्लियर सेट ऑफ एक्सपेक्टेशंस एंड स्टैंडर्ड्स फॉर द behavior of group members. Now next is developing a climate of trust underlies all of these elements. एक ऐसा एनवायरनमेंट दे जिससे लोग आपस में एक दूसरे पे ट्रस्ट कर सकें और वर्क के एरिया में जो वर्क डिवाइड हो वो ट्रस्ट के साथ एक दूसरे से डिवाइड कर सकें जिससे अच्छी परफॉर्मेंस आ सके. In order to trust one another, individuals in a group must understand and get to know one another. Now, I am going to discuss about the various stages of group development. Various stages of group development. Groups go through a set of predictable stages of development. In 1965, Bruce Tuckman, who carried out research on group dynamic, identified the four stages as forming, getting to know each other, storming, initial confrontation as a group members identify their differences, norming, coming together to work for the benefit of the team, and performing, working well together with a process to deal with any differences of opinions, and reassessing to look for opportunities for improvement. What was that stages uh, Tuckman has identified in 1965? First is forming. There was four stages, and first is forming, getting to know each other. First is forming, and what is the second? Second is storming. Storming, initial confrontation as group members identify their differences. Initial confrontation. Initial confrontation as group members as a group member identify their differences. Storming, initial confrontation as a group members identify their differences. Now, third is norming. Norming, coming together to work for the benefit of the team. Now, coming together to work for the benefit for the team. And next is performing. Now clear? Among four stages, first is forming, second is storming, third is norming. And fourth is performing. Performing. What it means? Working well together. Any differences of opinion and reassessing to look for. Opportunities for improvement. Fourth one is performing, working well together with a process to deal with any differences of opinion and reassessing to look for opportunities for improvement. Now, first one is forming, and I am going to discuss in detail. Forming. When a group is first formed, individuals wait and see what is going on. They are unsure of their role and concerned about how they will fit in. They want to belong to the group, feel accepted, and find out what the task is. If you think for a moment, you will be probably remember feeling like this on your first day of work. The supervisor or leader can help at this stage by providing a comfortable and structured environment. Ensure that each person is introduced and there is an opportunity to get to know one another. Be clear goals and expectations. Now next is storming. Storming during the confrontation stage, individual in a group begins to struggle to establish their place in the group. They may challenge the leadership of the group or the group boundaries. They may also, for the first time, express disagreement of impatience with the task of group process. At first, the leader may wonder why the group, which seemed to be working well, now seems to be in trouble. This stage is healthy because group members feel comfortable and trusting enough to air conflicts which previously had been kept hidden. The supervisor needs to provide time to deal with issues as they arise and avoid the temptation to put the lid on the conflict. Healthy dissent leads to better problem solving and better cooperation. If you prevent conflict from being expressed, if it may continue to fester under the surface, causing greater problem later on. Now, next one is norming. Norming. What is norming? At the working stage, groups have developed method of dealing with tasks and process and can work effectively together. People become more tolerant of differences in the group and encourage self-expressions. The group can accept and build on the another's strength, sharing tasks in the most productive way. It was about norming, and the next one is performing. Performing. During maturity, the group continues to cooperate to resolve issues and accomplish objectives. The group can stagnate and become less effective if new challenges and opportunities do not arise. Perhaps you have worked in a restaurant where the entire working group has been together for a couple of years. The group works together well, but unless there are new challenges such as new menu or an expansion, the situation can become boring. When group members are bored and unchallenged, their performance may decline and conflicts between members may start to dominate the working of the group. During reassessment, members examine their performance and working process. They begin to provide honest feedback, which is not always positive, and begin to share ideas that might create conflict. As a result of this examination, the group can continue to develop its effectiveness. Work groups are constantly being formed and reformed as new staff members join and others leave. New members of the team have the same needs as new groups because the team has a different membership. the whole group may revert to an earlier stage of development. This is especially true if the new team member has a position of authority over other members. A good leader always watches for signs that the group needs more structure or a new challenge. This sense of teamwork is not something that just happens. It is created through good communication, leadership, caring for individuals as people, and an understanding of group process. Now, I am going to discuss about the roles of group members. Roles of group members. Members of a work group fall into two categories. Initiators are the people who speak up first and generate ideas. They contribute their knowledge of relevant information and experience and give opinions. And second is responders. Listen and respond to suggestions they have heard. They evaluate informations, criticize proposals, and ask questions. They play an important role in developing the ideas put forward initiators. As the group process continue, members switch back and forth between the roles. Both roles are important for group function. Group need a balance between these roles. If there is only idea generation, the result will be a contentious, unruly group that is too divided to make up its mind. If there is too much emphasis on criticism of contribution and evaluation of ideas, the group may not come up with any new and innovative ideas to try. Maintaining a balance is the role of the group leader. What are the roles? First is initiator, responder. Clear initiator who initiate and give the ideas, and the responder who respond, ask the question and discuss about the upcoming problems. Now I am going to discuss about the barriers to group performance. Barriers to group performances. In an effective group, the purpose of the group takes precedence over the needs of individuals. When individuals place their needs ahead of those of the group, they act as a barrier to performance. These people can be classified as first, aggressor who want to win or exert power. What was the first? Aggressor who want to win or exert power. Second, defeatist who feel that the problem is insurmountable and sometimes demoralize the group and sabotages the group process. Stars who have to be in the limelight all the time, even when not making a contribution. And next, storytellers who keep lapsing into asides and irrelevant conversations. Next, clowns who just want to get attention and laughs. And next, dominators who want to run things more than they want to solve the problem. Ex grinders who relate everything to their pet peeve. And next is perhaps you can think of one or two people with whom you have worked who fit into these categories. Now, following are required for good F&B team. Now, I'm going to discuss about these main points. First is good communication. Good communication always leads to better cooperation. Communication that is honest and assertive tells the listener what you need. It does not expect the listeners to read between the lines. When appropriate, it also expresses feeling about the situation. When problems arise, honest communication allows them to be resolved in a mature way. When you deal with problems in an aggressive manner, the situation may appear to be resolved in your favor initially, but the other person will likely have hard feelings and resentments. If you deal with problems by giving in to others even though you feel your positions has some validity, or when you complain to others but not to the persons involved, you may also begin to feel resentment. Over time, hard feelings and resentments may continue to build over a series of small incidents. Now, second is leadership. First was good communication skill. Second is leadership. Leadership is important in a team. A good supervisor is a leader who can bring the group together and build an environment in which the team can work together effectively. A leader acts as a representative of management. Act as a representative of management, as a role model, as a problem solver, as a motivator, as a manager of daily operations. A group leader does not have to perform all of these functions all of the time. Some of the most effective leaders lead from behind. They lead the group unobtrusively, sharing the responsibilities and rewards of leadership. That does not mean that they do nothing. They work hard at catching people doing it right. It is very responsible work to catch decision making. They also recognize when it is important to step in or take charge. A successful leader has the ability to influence implied by making suggestions and guiding discussion. Every supervisor has legitimate power, which is the authority associated with the being a boss. In addition to this authority, effective leaders have a second type of power, the power to influence or persuade people. This power depends on the employee's acceptance of the supervisor as a person who makes sound judgment and merits respect. Influence is a very potent form of power. Employees may obey the request of an authority, but they will go above and beyond the call of duty for someone with influence. Of course, a supervisor needs both authority and influence. If the supervisor has no authority to make decisions, he or she will be unable to create a climate in which work can be performed. In turn, he or she will not enjoy the respect and acceptance that creates influence. Successful leaders combine a focus on tasks, getting the job done, with a commitment to helping employees achieve their personal goals. If a supervisor concentrates only on accomplishing tasks, he or she will be perceived to be uncaring and unsupportive. Employees may feel that they are not appreciated for their unique skill and interest. If, on the other hand, the supervisor concentrates only on making employees feel comfortable and fostering a pleasant work environment, the task for which the group is responsible may not be accomplished. The owner of the company will not get the necessary job performance. Profits and customer service will suffer. Although you might expect employees to be satisfied, they will not have a sense of accomplishment in their work. Morale will suffer. Now about the leadership styles. The style leadership that supervises user can be categorized into four types. First is authoritarian, second passive, third bureaucratic, and fourth participative. Authoritarian leaders plan, organize, coordinate, control, and direct in a very commanding manner. They make the decisions and expect their subordinates to obey. Most military units function under this type of leadership. This does not mean that the leader is not concerned about the welfare of the staff. This type of leader may be caring individual but may feel that he or she is in the best position to judge what is best for the staff being supervised. He or she may be like the wise and caring father in a traditional family. Now second type is passive leaders. Passive leaders do not want to face conflict. They avoid situations where decisions have to be made or they have to interact with others. They have little concern for either people or production. This style of leadership is seldom appropriate in the type of situation encountered in the food service industry. Now, third type of leadership is bureaucratic leaders. Expects employees to put in an honest day's work for an honest day's pay. He or she expects everyone to play by the rules. The results may be predictable, but this type of leadership does not foster creativity initiative. Next is participative leaders. Participative leaders believe that participation in decision making is the key to achieve the company's goals. In today's world, where most people have a strong streak of individualism. This style may complement the personality and needs of employees well. However, this does not mean it is appropriate in all situations. For example, an authoritarian style will likely be most effective in an emergency. If there is a fire in the restaurant and the customers and guests must be evacuated, someone needs to take charge quickly. There is no time to consult with the staff and arrive at a consensus about what approach should be taken. The style you choose should reflect the needs of situation, taking into consideration your personality and the needs of your employees. when you have chosen a style or one is imposed from above. Do not attempt to disguise it. For example, authoritarian leaders sometimes wish to appear more participative. They may pretense of consulting with others, when in fact a decision has already been made. This only angers and confuses their subordinates. Here are some tips on being an effective leader. First, be clear about your expectation of employees. Expect excellent performance and customer service. Let employees know that you have confidence in them. Next, share the responsibilities of the job and the credit for a job well done. Praise employees on work well done. Next, give honest feedback to help employees improve performance. See mistake as an opportunity to grow and develop. Next is earn respect by modeling appropriate behavior and exercising self-discipline. Next is be positive and encourage about challenge the group faces. Introduce incentives to help your group achieve the desired level of productivity. Respond to your employees' motivation and effort by showing enthusiasm. Enhance your knowledge and skills so that you can answer employee questions and provide detailed information about a specific process and techniques employed by your business. When challenges arise, pitch in and help where help is needed. Encourage others to do so as well. Stand up for your staff when they need support. Listen to your employees' side of the story before you make a decision. Do not be gossip or a backstabber. Never say or repeat anything you are not prepared to acknowledge saying. Be consistent, firm, and fair. I hope you have learned a lot about a good F&B team. It should be helpful for enhancing your knowledge. Thank you.